opinions expressed in the following program are not necessarily those of Shaw Cable Systems or of the station. Through our access policy, we provide the opportunity for community groups and individuals to express their points of view.
Welcome to the Huddle, another week of football, and it's a special edition. Scott Taylor and John Mackey, we're going to talk about the 28th annual Blue and Gold Classic.
Yes, we are.
It goes this Saturday. We will have it on Shaw on tape delay on May 11th.
Okay.
But the games begin at 10:30 Saturday morning at Eastside Eagles Field. At 1:30 the under-18 game goes.
That's
at
right.
10:30 it's the under-16 game. And it's going to be a great afternoon. It's going to just be fun.
Teams are shaping up.
Yeah.
They're looking really good.
Now, I remember talking to you.
Yeah.
You were worried about your offensive line. You're not that worried anymore.
Not at all. These guys have had a great week at camp where all the offenses has been installed. The guys are now just going through getting the timing down. The offensive line is getting their pass pro set because our defense is now sending some blitzes. So it's just, basically logistics in the offensive scheming and stuff like that, where at first I was like, oh my goodness, we're going to be terrible. But this year, no, like everybody's kind of working on all cylinders now, and we look really good, and I'm very excited to see how they perform on Saturday. Well,
normally we end up having skill players on. We have quarterbacks and wide receivers, but today is a special day. Got a couple of defensive ends coming in.
Oh, yeah.
Parker Bowles from the under-16 game and Donovan Hillary from the under-18 game. So it'll be good to see the smart defensive people on the show.
They're good football players, too.
We've also got Nate Friesen coming in and Jordan Yance.
This is a quarterback show.
And John Mackey. It's going to be an under-18, under-16 Blue and Gold Classic / quarterback show, and all Bison quarterbacks.
Yeah, all Bison quarterbacks at one point.
More Bison quarterbacks than anybody should be permitted to see at one time. And we have them on today. And Dave Donaldson won't be here, but we're going to have a segment of What the Ref. And we'll explain that when it happens.
All right, right on.
Okay, we've got a busy show. This is The Huddle. It's community created on Shaw TV.
I'm Landon Rice of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and you're watching The Huddle on Shaw TV.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to The Huddle. Scott Taylor, along with Nathan Friesen, the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach of the Winnipeg Rifles. And Nathan, the season is not what you would call around the corner, but when you're coaching a football team, it kind of is, isn't it? It's only a few months away, and you've already had your winter camps. You guys have got to be excited about getting started.
Yeah, it's crazy how it sneaks up on you. A couple months ago, Ryan Carr had asked me to help coach with him, and now all of a sudden we're a week away from spring camp or 2 weeks away from spring camp. So, yeah, season's right around the corner.
Tell us about how the winter camp went, what you saw, what you liked, what you didn't like.
We have these discussions all the time. It's good, better, and best. And so I think the good point is that we were able to accomplish a lot in our spring workouts, and we got a lot of kids out there, a lot of development. The progression for some of the players from camp 1 to 6 was incredible, and so we're excited about that opportunity. Better, we were able to start to mold the winter workouts what we wanted to accomplish, and as a young coaching staff, I think that it got better throughout the process. And best is that we've got a ton of returning players that are very good, and definitely have the the foundation to build a very good team around.
Well, so, despite last year's record, you did win your final game.
Yeah.
So these guys know they can win football games.
And that's part of it. I think, in my experience with the Rifles, when I came in, they had 2 losing seasons, and then I came in and we went 500, and then the following season we went 7-1.
Which was your best year ever.
Exactly, for the Rifles. And I think that it's just got to be a culture change. And if they know that they can compete and they know that they can win, as soon as they realize that they're more than just competitive, that they're winners, that's when it's going to turn around.
Tell us about, let's give some kudos. Tell us about some of the top returning players and who you like coming into the season.
Well, the Gregoires, obviously, they're returning players. They've been on the show before.
Andrew and Donovan, yeah.
We also have our quarterback returning, John Keesman, or the Big Keezy, as I like to call him.
The Big Keezy. With the big glasses underneath the helmet. I love it.
Yeah, he's doing away with the goggles this year.
No.
Yeah, he got he got eye surgery or contacts
LASIK,
or whatever,
yeah.
and the goggles are gone. So
I won't even recognize him on the field.
I know,
now.
part of his mystique, part of his aura is gone. So it's too bad. But yeah. So and then Brett Carter, our all-Canadian receiver returning.
Tremendous.
Great player for us. We've got a lot of plans for him.
Well, he and Kiesman are tremendous together. Just outstanding.
They definitely had a great connection. I think that more than half of John's completions went to Brett last year. So those are the players we're looking for. There's Plett as a DB, and there's Blahi on the O line. So there's a lot of players here that are coming back. They're going to be good for us.
When spring camp start?
Spring camp starts May 10th through the 12th.
Wow. Yeah. It's coming right up.
Yeah.
And then the season starts?
The season starts for us. We're in camp the first weekend in August.
So it happens so quickly when you're coaching, right?
Yeah.
Like you can say, oh, it's a few months away. Then bang, there it is.
Exactly. Like we have spring camp this weekend, and then as soon as spring camp is done, then I'll be meeting with my receivers and my quarterbacks and trying to organize some throw rounds between then and the start of the season. And we'll get 4 or 5, maybe 6, and then bam, we're into the season.
How's Ryan doing?
Crazy. Ryan's good.
We really like Ryan Carhout on this show. I hope he's doing well.
Yeah, he's got a good energy. I like his philosophy. I like the changes that he's trying to implement with the team. I think that it's gonna create a culture of winning. So,
outstanding.
I'm excited about coaching with him.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Great stuff.
Thanks for having me.
Nathan Friesen, the quarterbacks coach and offensive coordinator of the Winnipeg Rifles and Rifles Spring Camp coming up this weekend. When we come back, lots more. This is The Huddle, community created on Shaw TV.
Everybody needs a helping hand. Take a look at your fellow man and tell me what can I do? What can I do today?
Courtesy. Pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Welcome back to The Huddle. This weekend, Saturday to be precise, the Blue and Gold Classic, the 28th annual, will be held at Eastside Eagles Field, Football Manitoba's Spring Classic. Both the under 18 and under 16 games featuring the best under 16 and under 18 athletes in the province in what is always two tremendous football games. And we will be on May 11th here on Shaw with a delay of the broadcast of the May 4th game, the under 18 game. So you don't get to be on TV. I'm with Parker Bowles, who's playing in the under 16 game, playing for Team Blue.
Yeah.
When you go out to these provincial teams and you play with these guys, are these guys or do you just meet them for the first time?
Some of them, I know them, because I played Mustangs and stuff with them in Dakota, so it's not really, I'm not playing with guys that I haven't really met before.
So it's pretty comfortable when you go out there.
Yeah, very comfortable.
Tell us about the way camp has gone. Have you enjoyed it? Because I understand that they did some things differently this year, and how's it worked out?
I've enjoyed it. It's been some of the guys that came out are pretty intense. Really good football that's been happening on camp. So we're all going to be pretty good to go for Blue and Gold, and I'm excited to see
Well, you're
what
first
happens.
today, not because you're a St. Paul Mustang. We've had lots of St. Paul Mustangs on, but you're the first Dakota player we've had on. So let's go back into your background. Tell us where you started, why you started, how you started, because the Bowles family is pretty well known in football in Manitoba.
I started playing football because, my brother signed up, and seeing him play, I was like, oh man, that's sweet.
And that's Quentin. He's a good player.
Yeah, he's pretty good. So, so I saw him play, and I was like, oh, so I want to go play. So I talked to my dad. I'm like, so do you think I could play football this year? He's like, sure, let's try you out. So started out in Terminator.
And you were what, about 8?
Yeah, 8.
Wow.
So I did all right. I was pretty good.
Now, what was your first position?
My first position, I think, was center. Because in Terminator, they rotate you through all positions and everything.
Right.
So I played center, and then I think I went to quarterback, and then I got to play middle linebacker.
That's a big change.
Yeah. I was all over the place.
So now you're a defensive end.
Yeah.
At what point did you get to there?
I got to playing defensive end I think it was minor bantam, my first year minor bantam. And then from then I've just been at defensive end. And then this year at Dakota I played linebacker. So
this was your first year at Dakota.
Yeah.
Your first season with the Lancers. What was the difference between playing? Now, did you go to the Lancers right at a bantam, or did you play your midget?
I went right out of Bantam.
Right out of Bantam. What was the difference in the jump? Because everybody tells me that the jump from playing minor football to high school football is a big one.
Yeah, the intensity is a lot different. The players are a lot faster, a lot better.
And older, too.
Yeah, older, a lot smarter, and the game, it just feels better to be playing in such a high-level football that I just like it a lot better.
Now, as a grade 9 athlete, did you feel out of place at all?
At first, I felt out of place. Like, at this time last year, like when we were playing our spring games against like Churchill and stuff, I felt like really out of place. I was nervous and everything, and I was just getting into my mind that, I don't know, I'm playing high school right now. And then once season started, I was more calm, and I was like, okay, well,
it's great to have those spring games, right?
Yeah. I've practiced with these guys. I know what I should bring to the table, and then I just went from there, and I had a pretty good season. So,
as a defensive end, you're not the biggest guy I've ever seen.
No, not really.
What makes you a good defensive end?
Speed, the intensity that I bring, and the strength. I may not be the biggest guy out there, but I'll push you around a little bit.
I like it. Do you like to work out?
I love to work out.
Well, that's going to be one of our questions. When we come back, we're going to play 10 questions with Parker Bowles, and we'll do that right after this. You're watching The Huddle, community created on Shaw TV. We're back with Parker Bowles, and we're going to play 10 questions. First, I wanted to ask you about your trip. You went with your brother Quentin to Nanaimo. He's going to play for the Vancouver Island Raiders.
Yep.
Did you like it out there?
Oh, I loved it out there. So nice. Just green grass everywhere, no snow, really good football weather.
So it wasn't the football as much as it was the weather?
Pardon?
It wasn't the football as much as it was the weather? Yeah, whatever. We're going to play 10 questions. We do this with our high school stars. And so we've got Parker on today, so we're going to start with question number one. Your favorite sports team?
Houston Texans.
Why? That's an odd one for this town. I've only had one Winnipeg Jets fan. Only one.
I like the intensity of it. They have a lot of really good players there. And just the whole feel of the Houston atmosphere there.
Great uniforms.
Yeah.
Your favorite athlete?
Brian Cushing.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
They don't come any tougher than him. Your favorite movie?
I think I'm going to have to say Friday Night Lights.
It's a great one. Your favorite TV show?
The Office.
So you have a sense of humor?
Yep.
Absolutely. Your favorite style of music?
Well, I'm really open to everything, but if I had to choose, probably country kind of stuff.
Cool. Your favorite entertainer?
Will Ferrell.
Sense of humor.
Yeah.
What do you like doing away from football? And I think we know.
Working out and just getting better
being in the
gym.
Game. Yeah, just getting better. Favorite subject in school?
Drama.
Outstanding. My son has a drama degree. Your favorite sport, not football?
I'd have to say lacrosse.
Do you play lacrosse?
No. I just like watching it.
What, The Rock?
Yeah.
On TV? And my favorite question of all, and question number 10, Betty or Veronica?
I think I'm going to have to go with Veronica.
Is there a reason for that?
No.
Okay. Parker Bowles was our guest, and you're a good sport. Thanks for playing.
Thank you.
And you're terrific. Playing this weekend in the under-16 game at the 28th Annual Blue and Gold Classic at Eastside Eagles Field. It starts at 10:30. Everybody get out, see Parker Bowles play defensive end. When we come back, we got more Blue and Gold Classic to talk about. This is The Huddle, community created on Shaw TV.
Hi, I'm Andrew Harris of the BC Lions. You're watching The Huddle, community created on Shaw TV.
Welcome back. This is The Huddle. I'm Scott Taylor, and with me is Donovan Hillary, who is a defensive end this weekend, but not always. No. We'll talk about that in a second. Donovan's playing in the under-18 game this weekend at the Blue and Gold Classic. It's the 28th Annual. It's at Eastside Eagles Field. Your game's 1:30.
Yeah.
You start at 1:30. The under-16 game goes at 10:30, so there's lots of football. It's doubleheader football. We will have the under-18 game on Shaw right here on May 11th. May 11th. It'll be tape delay, and we're going to use John Mackey as the color commentator, and John Mackey is going to call the plays. He's the offensive coordinator. He's going to call the plays live on television, although it'll be on delay because we don't want to cheat. But I don't think we'd be doing much cheating anyway. It's Mackey, right?
Yeah.
Donovan Hillary is with us. Donovan, how's the camp been? And have you learned anything?
Well, the camp, we started off, it was very cold. It's been cold all week, so we had to deal with snow and some really cold temperatures. And I guess throughout the camp, you can always improve your skills. And You know, Coach Bailey, which is the D-line coach for U18 this year, you know, he's a great coach. Every time you have a session with him, you always learn something. He's such a smart guy. For sure, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you got to learn something from him. What's interesting about your situation is at River East, where you play high school ball, you play linebacker.
Yes, I do.
And on this team, you're playing defensive end.
Yes, yeah.
What's the difference?
Well, you know, high school.
You're chasing the quarterback in both situations.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
now, do you come off the right side or the left side as a defensive end?
Defensive end.
Or do they move you around?
We move around, so.
Well, so as a linebacker, you're kind of moving too. So it's not that much different, is it?
It's not very different. Like there is.
You got to get into your stance.
Yeah.
Which is a lot different than being a linebacker and bouncing around.
Well, the way I see it is that, you know, in U18, I go to defensive. I personally think I know more at defensive end just from going through the U16 and U18 process throughout the years, and coming back to River East, I can really, you know, give back to our players there and help them out. And
tell us a little bit about your background. Where did you start and when did you start?
Well, I started back in around grade 6. 2 of my friends decided to join football, and I decided to just tag along, see what that was all about. It took a lot of convincing from my mom, for sure.
Really?
Yeah. And
I've heard that before.
Yeah. Because I don't really come from a football background. My dad, he's from South Africa, and so I was.
Well, that's a rugby country.
I was surrounded by soccer and rugby as a kid, and but you know, it started off great, and then I just kind of fell in love.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Now, did you play defense right from the start?
You know, for the first couple weeks, I was at O-lineman for a little bit. But then they made a switch to linebacker right before the first season.
Now, most of the kids I talked to liked football because they liked to hit. Would that be the same for you? Do you like the contact?
I love the contact, for sure. Best part.
Now, do you play any other sports at high school?
You know, I used to play soccer. I recently stopped this year to focus more on football.
Your dad won't like that. So now you're just a football player?
Pretty much.
Now, this weekend, you're playing in a pretty big game.
Yeah.
It's a great opportunity for you to show your stuff against the best players of your age in the province.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's also that opportunity to go to Football Canada Cup.
Yeah, you know.
Pretty exciting?
Yeah, you know, I've been itching to get back into playing another game of football, and you know, it's been a long off season, especially with this long winter, so I'm just revving to get back in there.
Outstanding. You going to play 10 questions with us?
Sure thing.
Okay, we're going to come back. We're going to play 10 questions with Donovan Hillary, the South African soccer player, when we come back. This is The Huddle, community created on Shaw TV. Welcome back to The Huddle. Scott Taylor, Donovan Hillary, and we are going to play 10 questions. My favorite part of the show. We love to put the high school guys through the ringer, and this is your first opportunity to play 10 questions with us. Question number 1, your favorite sports team?
Green Bay Packers.
Still no Winnipeg Blue Bombers fans and 1 Winnipeg Jets fan. I can't believe it. Your favorite athlete?
Clay Matthews.
You're the second Clay Matthews guy.
Really?
Your favorite movie of all time?
You know, that's a tough one. I really like the ones that kind of mess with your mind, like Shutter Island and Butterfly Effect, Inception.
I don't know how you sleep at night. Your favorite TV show?
You know, I really love the Lost series.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good, wasn't it? I like all the guys that were on it. Your favorite style of music?
You know, music, I really do like music, so everywhere from jazz to rap to country.
A jazz fan. That's good stuff. These kids are smarter than you think. Your favorite entertainer?
I would have to go with Kevin Hart.
That's about the 3rd Kevin Hart we've had. A lot of Kevin Hart fans. What do you like doing away from football?
You know, football is really time consuming, so between, I guess, schoolwork, training, camps, there isn't much.
But are you another one of those guys who likes working out?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because a lot of the guys we talk to, if they're not playing football, they're in the gym.
Yeah.
So you're spending a lot of time there, too?
Definitely.
Brothers. Your favorite subject in school?
You know, it's in between physics and chemistry, I would have to say.
I hate you guys. Your favorite sport that isn't football?
It's probably soccer.
Yeah, you did play until this year.
Yeah.
You should play again. And the number 10 question, the question we all wait for, Betty or Veronica?
Betty.
Yeah, well, our floor director, Rebecca Horan's not very happy with it, but Betty's okay. Thanks, you're a good sport. Yeah. Donovan Hillary, who will play this Saturday at 1:30 in the afternoon in the 28th annual Blue and Gold Classic, the under-18 game. It'll be a dandy. It will be televised on Shaw May 11th, so you'll be able to see this guy play. When we come back, we've got lots more to talk about. I think John Mackey's going to do an interview. It'll be great, and we'll do that right after this on The Huddle. Community created on Shaw TV.
I touched the ball before I went out, Coach. Team.
Alex.
Good call. Sportsmanship. Pass it on.
Welcome back to the Huddle. I'm John Mackey, filling in for Scott Taylor. Today we have a very special guest all the way from Vancouver Island. Actually, he's from Regina, Saskatchewan, where all good people come from. Jordan Yance, who's going to be participating with the University of Manitoba Bisons this year at quarterback position, and I'll have the pleasure of coaching him there. Jordan, welcome to the show. This show, basically, we just really highlight football and all greatness of the sport. Tell us a little bit about how you started playing the sport back in Regina. I know that's where you come from. Just tell us how you got involved in the sport.
Well, I started when I was an 8-year-old kid in RMF, the Regina Minor Football League, and I was the guy that, I went out there and, I made my mom come out there and drag her lawn chair out and make her watch practice regardless of what the situation was. But, I played ever since I was 8 years old, from Atom to Pee Wee to Bantam to high school, and then I chose the junior football route.
Okay, so obviously Regina, it's football's #1, right?
Of course.
What made you make the jump to junior out in BC?
I just think, the recruiting that my junior team did for me out there, and the number of outstanding football players that they have produced out there, made me want to go out there that much more. And I think that it was one of the best decisions I've made in my life.
Now, you played with our cover boy, Andrew Harris, out in BC, and he's a very successful player out with the Lions. What did he teach you? Did he teach you anything when you were out there in Vancouver Island?
Oh, absolutely. I had the honor to play with him in 2008 and 2009. And, at that time he was back and forth, practicing with the Lions 3 days a week and practicing with us once, maybe twice, and playing games. But he taught me a lot at the quarterback position just by having him as running back.
And you get to visit with him at Lions camp. You went there last year. You got to throw around with a couple of receivers. But you're going back this year. You're going to visit him again. I know that you guys participate in camps and stuff. Tell us a little bit about the Lions camp. In general. With Lule, all the different quarterbacks that you're there with, receivers that you're throwing to. Tell us a little bit about how that's made you progress as a quarterback.
It was a great learning curve for me. Just being in that environment and being around those guys, they teach you a lot of things and teach you how to grow up as an individual and grow up as a football player. Obviously for me, as a junior football player in Canada, going there, my reps and everything was limited, but, being in that environment and being around the guys and, basically learning what the ropes are like and learning how to be a pro is really exciting for me. And, no matter how many reps I got every day or whatever it was, I was just happy to be there. And, if receivers wanted to catch a couple extra balls after practice, I was there to throw them and glad to do whatever they asked me to do.
Mm-hmm. True leader. As a quarterback, you've been very successful. You broke all the junior records in the CJFL. What is it as a quarterback that makes you successful? What is the most important aspect? When I'm coaching the young quarterbacks, obviously mechanics are always #1, the fundamentals. But when you're making that jump to the next level, what's the most important key as a quarterback for you?
Well, I think making the jump to the next level, obviously, like you said, mechanics and footwork and all that stuff, but it's just understanding the game and understanding the level of the speed of the game, and everybody else is going to be just that much better, and you yourself have to be that much better. So when it comes to different defensive schemes and certain things and how you read the defense, and you just got to be that much faster at everything you do. So this weekend I'm going to mentally prepare myself and of course physically too, so I'm excited.
We're very happy to have you out here in Winnipeg at the University of Manitoba. I know you and I both talked, in the recruiting process. We're both from Regina. It was really fun. It's going to be really a lot of fun having you out as a quarterback with the Bison crew. We have not, everybody's heard about you out here in Winnipeg, and it's really I'm glad to have you on board, and I'm super excited to see you on the field.
Awesome, Coach. I can't wait.
All right. Jordan Yance, this is The Huddle.
I'm Teague Sherman of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. You're watching The Huddle on Shaw TV.
Welcome back to The Huddle. I'm Scott Taylor, and this is the Manti Te'o Kiss Cam. Dave Donaldson was supposed to be here today, but in Dave's defense, he has a sick child at home. And so Dave's going to miss it. So today, we're going to go back into the archives with What the Ref. And we're going to pick out some of the best moments we've had with Dave Donaldson on What the Ref. Coming up right now. Welcome back. You know what I love best about this place? It's the peanut gallery.
Always.
Oh, yeah, aren't they the best?
They don't know about the peanut gallery, but they're here.
Yeah, they're here. They're back making remarks about you and me, and yeah, you can hear them now. They're applauding. Welcome back to the Huddle. Scott Taylor with Dave Donaldson, and it's What the Ref time. Ref, today I want to talk to you about something that drives me crazy, when it's called or not called, the horse collar tackle.
Oh, great.
Explain to me exactly what the horse collar tackle is.
Well, before I explain it to you, hey, Happy New Year.
Happy
all
New
the
Year
best
to you
in the
too.
New Year.
Yeah, same to you. I still can't get used to it in 2013.
Well, you know what? With regards to horse collar tackle, it'd be easier for me to be more visual. Two things. It's a UR. It's an automatic first down, 15 yards from the spot of where that infraction occurred. Right. That's key to know. First down regardless. What it is if a player, if you don't mind me showing you visually, showing the fans at home, you got to have your hands inside the jersey. And really, if it's just in there and he gets tackled, that's going to be called, even if his momentum hasn't been swayed back. The real basis of that call was to call it because guys were getting pulled back, like running back.
And the chest plate and the shoulder pad was coming up to their throat.
Yeah, and knee injuries. There's a massive injury years back, and that's why that rule was put in place, because you can really hurt somebody when you clasp inside the jersey and pull back. Right?
Now, say for instance you're the side judge and you see this happen, and you see the hand up underneath the jersey, but you know it's not underneath the pads.
Right.
Would you still throw the flag?
Yes. Once we see it in there, we have to make that call. It's a safety issue. Players need to know how to tackle correctly, and
true enough.
And that's our job to enforce the rules.
Is that even a problem in the CFL?
It's a problem in all leagues. You know, you're going to do whatever it takes as a defensive player to make the play.
And this coming from a guy who played 10 seasons in the CFL as a defensive player.
And you know what? I made that tackle, and back in that day, in '97, I remember it, I have it at home. I don't have many highlights, but it was a special teams tackle, and I made that tackle, and I didn't get called on it. Then years later, you find out that there's a rule on that, and you can understand why.
Absolutely.
You can really hurt someone. Moreover, you don't really have to have your hands inside coaches and refs or coaches out there and players. You can also, if you have your hand clasped by the nameplate, so not really by the numbers, but by the nameplate, and your hands don't have to be inside for us to make a discretionary.
Regardless, it's dangerous, it's going to be called, and it's a first down.
Correct. That's all you need to know.
Once again, you're right. That's What the Ref with Dave Donaldson. When we come back, we got lots more on the Huddle, community created on Shaw TV. Thanks, David.
You're welcome.
Thank you, dear.
You make me feel so young.
Think young. Pass it on.
You make me feel so spring.
Wow. What a show.
Mante tail kiss cam.
I'm glad you got the joke.
That was a classic.
Yeah, well, that
Very
was
well done.
My imaginary friend
Very
was
well
sitting
done.
beside me. Dave Donaldson, of course, off today, but we were able to find not the worst of What the Ref.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a fun show. It was great to meet those two defensive ends, two young kids, Parker Bowles, whose brother Quentin is a heck of a player, an outstanding player, and Donovan Hillary, who comes from the soccer family. I like it.
Yes.
And he's playing football.
We're expecting big things from them in the Blue and Gold Classic.
It's going to be tremendous. Blue and Gold Classic tomorrow, 10:30 the under-16 game, 1:30 the under-18 game, both games at Eastside Eagles Field.
Eagles, that's right.
It's a great place to go watch football.
Honorary coaches are going to be Buck Pierce and Steve Morley. From the Bombers. And then the U18, we like to pay homage to the alumni as well. Glenn Scrivener and Kelly Butler.
Kelly Butler would be fun. It's going to be a great day. And we'll be out there. You'll be the offensive coordinator for what, the blue team?
Both teams. We're running off of a script is how many plays that these guys, we want to get a better evaluation.
Sure.
So we're going to give them all a set amount of plays, and we're just going to be running them in certain situations, right? We're just not going to be, running on second and long. We have long list of plays, but we're going to have a whole bunch of guest coaches there. This is a great day for football. It's kind of kicks off the season for all football across Manitoba. So
it's the kicker. It's the 28th annual Blue and Gold Classic. Goes tomorrow at Eastside Eagles Field. John Mackey, Scott Taylor. This has been a great edition of The Huddle. We'll be back next week. Please join us. This is The Huddle, community created on Shaw TV. See you next week.
The opinions expressed on the program you have just watched are not necessarily those of Shaw Cable Systems or of this station. Through our access policy, we provide the opportunity for community groups and individuals to express their points of view.